Hey everyone, Scratch here. Sorry I haven't been uploading in a while. I can't believe it's been a month already. Time flies. But school's been starting, a few things have been happening, and I procrastinated a little bit with this channel. But I promise to get things back on track as I have a new schedule which I think will work. Well, I know it will work. Okay, so today we're going to be doing or creating a pattern generator in Scratch. It's a fairly simple one, but the results are pretty astounding. So let's get coding. Here we are, and first thing we're going to do is rename the sprite pattern gen with a dot, sort of a pattern generator. And if you haven't, maybe name the project whatever you want. Let's go into the costumes, and first delete this one. Select this costume by holding and dragging, delete it, and instead we're going to click on this paintbrush, select a black fill, and with a pen size of 1, zoom in a little bit, and then on the dot we're going to click. You're not gonna, yeah, perfect. So with that done, we'll just rename the costume. I like renaming my costumes, it just helps with organization. So the way we're going to be doing this is using pen, because to draw a sprite we need pen. And the way this is going to work is our little dot is going to move and act like a pen, like how when you draw the tip of the pencil is moving across the page. That's exactly what our little dot is going to do, but it's going to be hidden. And you may be like, what's the point of it when it's hidden? Well, we need it because we can't be drawing with nothing, but we hide it just so it looks good. So over here we click on this button called add extension, and we click pen, which it says draw with your sprites, which is exactly what we want. So first thing we're going to do is, just before all of that, click onto the backdrop and give it a better fill, because a plain white background won't do it. So we're going to get a fill, and we'll choose the bucket. We'll choose a circle gradient with white on the outside and a light blue so it'll look like that. And we might, yep, okay, zoom in a lot, and on the center dot click. And I forgot to convert to bitmap, and we'll use the same tool but on bitmap. Click on the center and huzzah. Bitmap is for pixely types of artworks, and vector is for shapes. And bitmap, the fill tool, it works better. Well, it works better in this situation. And I'll just name this background. Okay, into the pattern generator. First thing I'm going to do is get a when green flag clicked and into the pen category and erase all. Clear everything up, and then we're going to lift the pen up so we're not drawing. We'll set the pen size to 2. We'll set the pen color to a pick random of 0 to 199. We'll go to 0, 0, so the pen will start at 0, 0. We'll point in a random direction from 1 to 360, which is a full circle's direction. Then we'll create 3 new variables. These 3 variables will just keep track of a few things. The first one will be angle, so this will be which direction it'll be facing, how far it turns, all of that. Then length, how far it goes, and then reps, which is short for repetitions. That's how many times we're going to repeat it. So we'll set angle to 1, and we'll set length to 10. So just setting it up. We'll create a clone of ourselves to create more than one copy. And then, like we said we'd do earlier, we'd hide the original sprites. Okay, now that we set it up in the beginning, let's tell what to do when it is a clone. So drag a when I start as a clone hat block. We're going to change angle, so the direction it's facing, by a pick random of -15 to 20. I think we'll be better off if we make this -10, and then we'll change length by a pick random of 10 to 40. And then we'll set the repetitions, how many times you repeat, to a pick random of 10 to 80. And then finally, we'll put the pen down. So now we'll start drawing, and then now we want to cycle, because right now we set it all up, the color, the size, the direction, everywhere it goes. Now we want it to actually draw it. So because right now we're just changing a bunch of numbers. So we're going to get a repeat, and we're going to repeat repetitions. So go over to the variables and find the reps and place it inside the oval. So we'll repeat whatever number reps is, which right now is 54. And inside that, we'll get an if then else and check if the length is greater than 59, because that's the limit. We'll set it back to 1, and then if it's not greater than 59, we'll change it by 1. So what that'll do is it will clock up to 59 until it gets bigger than 59. So when it gets to 60, it will set it back to 1 and keep on repeating, going up and then going back down, and repeat that for how many times reps is. And then again, we're just changing numbers. So what we're going to do to make it actually work is get a move 10 steps block and a turn clockwise 15 degrees blocks, and we'll change this to move length steps, so that's how far, and turn angle degrees. So if we hide the variables and go to full screen, we have a working generator, and the patterns are completely random. Oh, and I'm sorry, but we forgot one thing. This script right now only creates one line. Well, it created 2. I think that's connecting to it. So what we're going to do is, to make a new one, just create a clone of itself again, which will do the exact same script again. And instead of it having the same color, we'll change the pen color by 1. So now look at this effect. It may take a while for yours to load, as it is a pretty big project, because a lot of clones are spawning. And would you look at that, a generator. And it was just like that easy. Let me just quickly run over the script and tell you how to improve it. So first, when we click the green flag, erase all, lift the pen, set the size to 2, set the color to a random value from 0 to 199, start at the center, point in a direction from 1 to 360, which is a full circle's direction, Then we'll set the angle to 1 and the length to 10. And we know what the angle and length do. Angle is how far we turn, and length is how far we go. Then we'll create a clone of ourselves and then hide the original sprite. And when we are a clone, we'll change the angle from pick random from -120 to 20, which that should be -110. 10. We'll change the length from 10 to 40, and we'll set repetitions to pick random 10 to 80. And the repetitions is how many times you repeat. We'll put the pen down, we'll repeat whatever reps is, and then we'll check, is length greater than 59? If it is, we'll set it back to 1, and if it isn't, we'll change it by 1. So that clocks it up, and then we'll move whatever length is, and we'll turn clockwise to whatever angle is. And then that only creates one line, but if we create it, and then we'll create a clone of ourselves again to create multiple lines. And then as soon as we do that, we'll change the pen color by 1. And right now, we can't control how many times it repeats, or even any of the values, which I'm pretty sure you'd want, because you give the player or the watcher a bit more extra leverage. So what we're going to do is drag a new block from the sentence category called Ask What's Your Name and wait. And we're going to ask enter starting angle. And whatever they reply, we'll get this block called answer. And then under that, we'll ask enter repetitions. We don't want them to control how far the thing goes, because that won't really add anything to it. All it'll do is make it go very far without doing anything, or very short. So we want length to be controlled by the script. And once we enter the repetitions, instead of setting it to this pick random, we'll set it to the answer. And if you want to see that in action, you can click this checkbox to show the answer. Right now it's blank, and if I try entering 24, it becomes 24. If I enter 85, I write 86, it becomes 86, and it instantly generates the pattern. Now, I recommend for repetitions, don't go over 300, as Scratch has a clone limit, and if it goes too high, it will crash, and I don't think you want your computer to crash. So, best to leave it at a value lower than 300. I say the safe spot is around 280, just in case something happens, like it doesn't clear, or So 290, I'll say. Max 290 was what I would recommend. Now, if you did enjoy this tutorial and you'd like to see more, consider subscribing, as it motivates me and it really helps me out. And if you did like it, well, leave a like down below. And if you do want to leave feedback or you need any help, leave a comment down as well. And this is Scratch Warrior, and I am